That's a little favourite of mine. That's a song called Welcome to Tomorrow by Snap featuring Summer. That's from an album called Welcome to Tomorrow. Do you know where I bought that?
I don't know, but text message here saying you played it less than 3 weeks ago.
I did not.
Well,
I haven't played that for months.
Paul
months.
Belfast said it.
I haven't played that for months. Good morning, everyone. Gerald Michael Anderson here. Mr. Coyle is here with me, of course. We shall be here until 12 o'clock. The number to ring if you want to contact this programme is 08459 555 678. Email address is jerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And, of course, the text messaging service for those of you who can't find a stone to throw is 81771. Get your little piggy fingers working on those little digits and insult me and him. Listen, what a great weekend this was. I'm afraid that I was unable to attend the opening of our Peace Bridge here in Derry, Stoke, Londonderry over the weekend. I was on the mainland. I was in England at the weekend. I'm sure that you played a full part, and I'm sure you were there at the ceremony. After all, you had told me that you're going to be one of the first across. You've been invited by the mayor, of course.
Yes.
I looked at many photographs in our local papers today. I see no sight of you.
I was playing golf. It coincided with my tee-off time.
Do you mean to say that the opening of our Peace Bridge meant so much to you that you decided to forego the pleasure of being there for the benefit of your driver?
Yes,
and indeed your leather bag.
I want to walk over the bridge
when there's no one else
and
there.
Savour it.
I can understand that.
And savour it.
I intend to do that today because I just arrived back here last night just in time. Well, I had no time to go and traverse the bridge. I should be down there tomorrow, or indeed today. No, do you know what I think I'll do? I think I'll wait until the sun comes out.
Yeah.
I think so, because the sun hasn't come out here for 6 months. Mm-hmm. And maybe it may come out before the end of the week. And if the sun does come out, if you see the sun coming out, I want you to phone me and say, now's the time.
Okay.
Cross that bridge.
Yeah.
Were you on the radio this morning, advertising Radio Ulster? Were you?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Do you do any kind of a trail?
No.
Do you?
I never be asked to trail.
I know, I was wondering.
No.
Must be somebody else they think. It says, why do Northern Irish people insist on saying pine instead of pound? It's just the way we talk. Well, people in Belfast say that. We don't say, we say pine. Pine.
No, what would I say?
Okay, if I said
you pulled me up with this the other day.
Pine.
You said that's the way I say it.
Pine.
Pound.
Well, pound.
No, I would say
pound. No, but you would say sing. You don't have a plural.
Pounds.
If I said to you,
I can't get round. That's pounds.
Pounds.
I can't do the pounds.
If I said to you, how much is that? You'd say £8.
Pound.
So you wouldn't say it's pounds.
Although I'm a quid man.
You're a quid man.
A quid, about 8 quid.
Pro tanto quid.
I'd be more quid than pound.
Quid is died out.
Aye,
it's going the way of the farthing. If I were you, I would stop saying quid because people
costs
will.
About 4 quid.
No, you're just saying quad.
Quid.
I'm
not saying quad.
You said quad, yeah.
I did not. 4 quid.
You did say 4 quid.
I did not.
That's like quaz. Quiz, Q-U-I-Z.
I don't say quaz.
You do say quaz.
I do not.
You say quaz.
I do not say
you
quaz.
You say quad. You say. And do you know what you also say? You say. If I say.
I say quiz.
And you say milk.
Milk. I say milk.
No, you say milk.
I say milk.
You say milk.
I say milk. We get 2 pints of milk.
No, you're saying that now because you're conscious of that.
I always.
Right.
And I also say film.
As opposed to film.
I don't say film.
It's only one.
I say film.
Only one consonant. No, not syllable. That's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, this person says, also tell Sean that his link advertising Radio Ulster this morning was very good. But I have to say, slightly camp. So there's a camp version of you.
Get it?
Advertise. I don't know who
it must
it
be
is.
in the trail department.
Who could be that? Eh?
Well, come on. Could you not look up?
I'm not looking up anything. There are camp people in there. Is that you, is it? That's all this person is saying. That's all I'm saying. But you know, people in Northern Ireland just say, I mean, the one that I have never been able to figure out is a gentleman on talking to Nolan there at the end of the programme. He was talking about, he was a photographer or something like that. I just caught the last 30 seconds. You know, you're trapped in here. You have to listen. And he was talking about, he won some photography competition, and Ain Paisley had been very good to him. Ain? Why do people say Ain? Why don't they just say Ian? Many people in Northern Ireland can't say Ian. They say Ain. Ain. Why do they say that? And also, even a weather forecaster, they say rain. Rain.
No,
2 syllables.
Who says rain?
Everybody says rain.
Big Barra. Does Big Barra says?
Who?
Barra.
I don't know if he says it or not, but many of them do. They say rain.
I don't think Barra would be a rain man.
Rain. I'll tell you who does say it, definitely.
Cecilia?
Breaking my heart. Frank Mitchell says rain.
But he's not a weather man.
Well, he says he's a weatherman. He stands up and he told the Queen the weather.
But he's
What do you want?
A pretend weatherman.
He is a pretend weatherman. But he'll enjoy that description anyway. How do you feel about stand-up comedians?
I
think they're getting worse.
I don't like them. That's the bottom.
The one that I can't stand really is Michael McIntyre.
Yeah.
I just want to hit him.
Yeah.
And do you know he runs around the stage all the time? It's
really
annoying.
Stand that.
And one of the fellas who did that most of it was Lee Evans started that, didn't he?
Who's the guy? Was he the guy that sweats? Lee Evans. Yes. Some guy sweats.
He's like kind of a Norman Wisdom clone, and he runs around
Yeah.
and they're pulling faces sticking out their tongues.
No, I stop at Connolly.
Big
Big Billy was,
Big Billy.
After that, they're all.
Oh no, you see, that's your age. You see,
No,
do you like Stuart Lee?
No.
Oh, I think he's great. Stuart Lee's very good. So is Rob Brydon. And
Rob Brydon,
Steve Coogan.
they're good.
I mean, let's face it.
Are they?
No, they're not the real guys. What we're
that's
talking
what
about is the piece of people who go on. What do you call those things? Never mind the buzzcocks.
No,
they're
they're not
people.
funny.
They're the horrible people.
Yeah.
But the other, and Frank Skinner, this gentleman talking about him, he started to wear a suit and tie, but he still got that hateful smirk. Now, Frank Skinner had that wee smirk that you just wanted to smash his face, didn't
I'll tell you who I could never take to.
Who?
The Brummie guy.
Which one's that?
Jasper Carrot. What do you call him? Jasper Carrot.
Sean, this is the 70s here.
He put me off.
Comedian.
But he was the boy. Billy Connolly came along, and Billy Connolly was a breath of fresh air. It was different, right?
That's 40 years ago.
I know, but Jimmy Tarbuck and all those boys.
That's 50 years ago.
But then you had this man comes along, and here's a guy doing it all different.
Who?
Billy Connolly.
People always did that.
Then you had Jasper Carrot coming on the back of him, and I says, "No, it's no good with Jasper Carrot. It's not funny." And I stopped listening to him.
You stopped. When was this? 1975.
But that's how far back I've gone.
I know, but sure. In other words, you were an old fogey in 1975.
No, I knew it was no good. I knew what was coming around the corner was no good. So these guys, these up and coming guys, was no good.
I think people are getting stupider because they're laughing easier now than they used to. All a man has to do now is pull a funny face and people start laughing. Of course, people did that a long time ago when people weren't educated. But then people were educated for a while and you had to say clever things before they'd laugh. But now people aren't educated anymore, so the Gurnan boys are back. Anyway, let's
do you remember Gurnan? Do you remember men used to come on the TV and gurn? Wasn't it Gurnan? Somebody called it? Pulling faces?
Yes, well, this is a long time ago.
They put their head through a horse's thing.
Well, they did. Yes, they did. A great show the other day. The highlight of the show was Mr. Coyle's extensive monologue on how to decapitate the oval object which shoots out of a hen's arse like a discarded artillery shell. I think they're talking about eggs here. You talked the other day about decapitating an egg and how to take the top off an egg.
Yes.
Many people are fascinated by that.
Yeah.
I employed a complicated manoeuvre which involved swiveling my neck, focusing my eyes, and suddenly Tommy, my cat, sprang into sharp focus. I put my finger down my throat, plucked my vocal cords like a guitar string and said, "How do you cut the top off your boiled egg?" Who could talk about eggs until the coos rose? Well, when you talk about hard-boiled eggs, you talk of a dangerous task which shall be approached with extreme caution. First, I don heat-resistant gloves and then remove the egg from the hot, boiling water with a wooden spoon. Then I cup the egg in my heat-resistant gloves and sprint 3 miles to McGinty's sawmill. Mr. McGinty, who's a dear friend of mine, then saws the top of my egg with a huge circular saw. I then make my way home, stopping to talk and shoot the breeze with policemen. These people are making fun of us.
Yeah, no. There's a phone call.
You see, you're trying to help the people by telling them how to take the top off their egg, then they write all that stuff, and they make fun of us. They're making fun. Hello, good morning.
Mr. Anderson, good morning.
Yes, good morning. How are you?
Not too bad. Whenever I'm talking, describing a car, I say a car. You say a car.
Yes, that is a thing that people in the Northwest do, but I tend not to do that because I don't think. Do I have a Derry accent? It probably sneaks in every now and again. See, but the problem with me is I left here when I was 18, didn't come back until I was like 35, 36. You know, so I was away for 20 years, so I kind of lost my accent just a wee bit. So I would tend not to say kiar, you know, which is what you're accusing me of doing. But people in the Northwest tend to say kiar when they mean car. Kiar or kiat or kiat. Cat is K-E-E-E-E-E-E-A-T. Kiat and kiar. That's not all you have to say for yourself.
All I have to say is the number of times you have told us about being out of the country at universities and all over the world.
I didn't go to the country to go to university. I went to university here in Coleraine,
I know, but
which is the same thing as going out of the country, basically. What?
Well, well, you must be about 90 then.
How dare you insult me like that? When I have the goodness to bring you onto this phone to talk about nice things and entertain the people, and then you accuse me of being a nonagenarian. Go away then.
Thank you very much.
Goodbye. You see, you're nice to the people and they turn back on you. Young lady lost her phone. What do you call those things? Blackberries. In Derry, Stoke Londonderry. She was in a taxi going from the Bentley. Where is the Bentley? It's a bar here in Derry. Where is it? Where is it?
Well, it's...
John Street?
No, Pump Street.
Pump Street.
Not Pump Street.
Pump Street?
No.
Sorry, this is a local thing, but I just don't know. I shouldn't be asking.
Can I just go back even further to where the Rialto was? Right, you know what I mean?
Which used to be a cinema, which is now nothing.
A car park?
What is it, a car park? Anyway, never mind that. You're living in the past.
But you know where I am now?
I know you're 40 years ago.
Orchard Street, is it?
I don't know. A young lady took a taxi on Saturday night. There may have been drink involved. From the Bentley to the Pennyburn area and left her BlackBerry in the back of the car. What are the chances, if you think, of her getting that back?
I would say very good.
I would say so. I'd say, what, 70%? 75, 60,
yes.
65.
I would say she'll get it back.
I would say so.
If the taxi driver has it.
Yeah, because taxi drivers do tend to listen to this program. So any man there who found a BlackBerry in the back of their taxi on Saturday night, a young lady ringing here, I have her number here. If you'd care to give us a ring at 08459 555 678. I think I'm very likable today, aren't I?
Yeah,
aren't I?
You're different today. You're semi-clean. You know what I mean?
That means not dirty.
Yeah, you're not dirty and you're not clean. You're different.
I'm kind of soiled.
Aye.
No, semi-soiled.
Semi.
If I was an article in the shop, would you would you knock money off me? If somebody came in and said, "Oh, he's usually 40 quid," what would you give me to them for?
You see,
15.
You say.
Would you knock a fiver off me?
I'll take a few bob off you.
Look, there's a wee bit soiled there. Look, I'll take a tenner off. Here, give me 30 quid. Yeah, away you go. Take them with you.
It's not music.
What? Excuse me?
You're not playing music, eh?
Why not? It's a music show. I do it every once in a while just to surprise people. Yeah. I'm going to play a record now. I'll tell you what I'm going to play, actually. I'm going to play a song which I like. Oh, no, hold on a minute. What did I do? Did you do something there?
No.
What did I do wrong? I did something wrong here. Hold on a second. Let me just talk amongst yourselves there for a second. I'm not quite sure what I did. Oh, no, I know what I did.
You started the CD and
I started the wrong thing. And then I went up and I interfered with another one that I didn't like. Hold on a second. I was going to play... What am I going to play? I'm going to play something that I want... Oh, I know what I'm going to play. I was going to play Lullaby by Sean Mullins. Do you see how excited I got there? Do you know why I got excited there? I suddenly remembered what I was going to play, and that's why I got excited.
Lullaby.
I like it very much indeed. But a lot of people don't like it, which is, the main reason to play it.
Is it long? Does it last long?
No, I think it's about, let me see. It's oh dear. It's about 5 minutes long.
You see, it's too long.
That's why I'm playing it. No, I like it. I like long things. It's not as long as I thought it was. I'll tell you what I'll do. There's something wrong with that one. There seems to be some kind of fault in the CD, which is what happened in the first place. I didn't realise that there was a fault. Hold on a second, just look at it. Yes, there's a number of scratches on it. So I'll endeavour to play another one. You see, yeah. Do you know what I like whenever I get into trouble like this? You never say anything because you enjoy it. Don't you?
Why didn't you put it in a different CD?
Ah, shut up. You're so practical. I hate it when you're practical.
I got a date with a fig roll or a Jaffa cake. Give me a biscuit so that I can have some pleasure without thinking about the state of the world, the credit crunch, the kids, and me and you for a moment or two. I got a date with a fig roll or a Jaffa cake. Give me a biscuit so that I can have some pleasure without thinking about the state of the world, the credit crunch, the kids, and me and you for a moment or two. Cocoon by a macaroon, picked up by a penguin. I really hope this tea brigade coming to an end soon. I feel like I'm under a doobie when I'm dunking and digestive, taking the weight of the world off my shoulders with a biscuit. I really love the feeling of a Garibaldi in my guts. If I'm in a different mood, I like Bosches for the nuts. Chimney, Macado and coconut cream. For someone you love, it's a biscuit lover's wet dream. I got got a date with a fig roll or a Jaffa cake. Give me a biscuit so that I can have some pleasure without thinking about the state of the world, the credit crunch, the kids, and me and you for a moment or two. Biscuits are nice, 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 biscuits are nice. Biscuit munch, credit crunch, crunch, munch, munch, crunch. Biscuit credit crunch, munch, crunch, 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 munch. Biscuit credit munch, credit crunch, munch, munch. Credit biscuit crunch, munch, crunch, munch, crunch, crunch. I got a date with a fig roll or a Jaffa cake. Give me a biscuit so that I can have some pleasure without thinking about the state of the world, the credit crunch, the kids, and me and you for a moment or two.
In a sorry state, everybody's under pressure, banking system's a disgrace. Corporate things have got us to the mess that we are in. When I need a break from thinking, I reach for the biscuit tin. Biscuit munch, credit crunch, crunch, munch, munch, crunch. Biscuit credit crunch, munch, crunch, 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 munch. Biscuit credit munch, credit crunch, munch, munch. Credit biscuit crunch, munch, 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 crunch. I got a date with a big roll or a Jaffa cake. I got a date with a big roll or a Jaffa cake.
That's good. I enjoy that. That's Biscuit Munch Credit Crunch. That's from a Northern Ireland band called Fancy Dress Funeral. Isn't that an unusual name for a band?
Baby. Hold on.
People are, well, look at this.
There's a wee call for you.
People are questioning my academic qualifications. Are you sure you went to Coleraine University? Was it not a polytech back then? No. Now, do you know about my education?
You've told us about
I haven't told you. I haven't told you in any detail.
I was listening to John Bennett last night.
Oh, yeah. Is he still alive?
That's cruel.
I know it is, but you know what I'm like.
Yeah.
And how is he?
It sounds very good.
What's he talking about?
I was just...
Talking about the English countryside, how lovely it is?
I enjoyed the show very much.
I know, that's because you've reached that age. That's the age you reach just before you die. You're a coffin dodger. That's what you are. Well, what kind of music was you playing? Max Bygraves.
No, that's hateful. You made me
hateful.
No, I did not make.
No, I was very nice before that program.
Yes.
Do you know what happened to me there? All that trouble with the CD made me angry because I couldn't get anything going. People are questioning my academic qualifications. Now, I went to university late. I went when I was like 34, 35.
Just after you came back from England or after Canada, was it?
Don't sound so resigned and bored.
Yeah.
And I was going to go to a real university, but then I went to Coleraine instead. And I was there, but I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want a qualification of any kind. I didn't want a job or anything. Do you know what? I've never talked about this before, and I think, can I pass this on to some people? There are people listening now who are probably thinking about doing their exams or have done their exams or are probably worrying about how they will get on. Will they go to university? Will they become accountants, solicitors, doctors? The things that usually people want to do. Now, what's the last thing that people want to go to university for these days?
What about Margaret and one?
You're not listening to a word I'm saying.
Margaret.
All I'm saying, I'll talk to Margaret in a minute.
When you have this conversation with Margaret?
Because I've already started.
But
Margaret may not be interested the same way as you aren't.
Yeah, but why didn't you try her out?
Where is she?
She's on one.
Hello, Margaret.
Hello, Gerry. I'm actually, see what Sean's saying, why don't you listen to Margaret because you're chirping on there? I'm actually standing here with a towel wrapped around me about to have a shower.
You mean you're not wearing any clothes?
No, there's a towel wrapped around me.
Well, you see, what I was wanting to know was really, would you be interested in me talking to you about my university education experience?
No, I wouldn't because...
You see, she doesn't care. Stand there naked. Stand there naked, doesn't give two hoots. Anyway, what do you want anyway, naked woman?
I would like to know where you were last week.
Last week?
Yes.
Last week? I was here.
Last week, the week before.
The week before? I was doing Jesus' work. And you, Sean, may I remind you, Sean, Margaret, can I just say something to you?
Because I tell you what.
Why?
Tony Bennett, before I forget, I asked Sean Coyle would he play a request for a visitor that I had over from Toronto, and he was able to play that right away. So he done a really brilliant job. If I just ask you or a real woman and I could play a special request, you turn and say, no, I won't.
She's one of your people then.
You see?
You see, Sean is different from me. I'm not like ordinary people. I'm evil, gnarled and twisted.
Sean is really, really brilliant. I mean, you're stuff really does stupid records that he wants to buy. You'll never ever hear from him again. And I'm sure you go to bed at night and people have nightmares along with you and that because of stupid records you're playing. Well, you wouldn't even call them a record.
I hope when you
pack it on it and to go along with them.
I hope when you take off that towel and walk into the shower that the shower is cold.
No, it's not.
I hope it's cold.
No, it's not.
No. You see, you don't understand. You see, I'm tortured soul artistically.
Well, here, Gerry, let me tell you something. We have a festival coming up July, around about the 19th to the 20th, I think, up in Fort Spring.
Yes, okay.
We said to you before about that. It's cross community, so if you're wanting to come up, or even Sean, you're more than welcome to come up.
Where is that again?
It's Fort Spring on Springfield Road.
Springfield Road, yes. And it's on what date is it? You're not quite sure. You don't seem to be quite sure what date it's on.
No, because I haven't drive myself off for that.
All right, listen, don't let us keep you back from the shower. Off you go then.
Why don't you play something nice and after,
I do play something nice.
I'm having a shower so I can listen to it while I'm having a lovely shower.
Okay, now.
Play something again by Tony Bennett or something
No, I can't do that. Anyway, it's only 2.5 minutes or so left before the news. I don't have time to play.
Well, after it, isn't it? Because I'd still be in the shower.
Well, I'm going to play a song by Tom Waits called "What's He Building in There." Would that be all right?
Well, I don't know what it's about, but I'm sure I'll listen to it anyway.
Have a listen and come back to me. Tell me what you think of it.
Okay. Well,
thank you.
Bye now. Bye.
Bye. See, people are questioning my university credentials. See, let me just finish this.
Is that the first time you've talked to a naked girl in the morning on radio?
I can't think. Anyway, one of the things that I think that young people are not told this. People are told, oh, you better go to university because then you'll get a good job, then you'll get good money, and you'll be great. But nobody ever says to them, you'll go and learn something. Nobody ever says that. Do you know what I did when I went to university? I made a conscious decision. And I'm not trying to talk myself up here. I'm only relating my own experience, and I'm going to pass it on to young people who are going to university. This is for what it's worth. This is what I found out. See, after leading a life of, well, I suppose, excess and terrible, terrible things, I was kind of worn out.
You were finished.
I was not finished. I was worn out.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. And I was like 34, that kind of thing, that kind of crossroads thing. And I had a choice of where to go with my life. And the one thing I knew I didn't want to do is I could have remained a musician and started to play at weddings. The stuff that you like.
Yeah.
I could have ended up doing all that. I decided not to do that. And then I said to myself, now, what do you want to be? The only thing I really wanted to be was a paleontologist or a classical archaeologist. But I knew I couldn't do that because I didn't have the qualifications. You had to go to Trinity to do that. So I found out I could go to Coleraine. And I decided, now, what can I do to go to Coleraine? What can I do? And I said, I don't want to do anything. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just go to Coleraine for 3 years, and I'll do a degree that doesn't require me to do any work. So I said, right, sociology. All you have to do is read one book, and then you make it all up after that. That's a little tip for all the people out there who are studying sociology. So I decided to just do that to pass myself, and I'll go to university for 3 years, and I'll read all the books that I never read before in my whole life. And that's what I did in university. I went every morning, I never went to lectures or anything, waste of time. So I just got one book in sociology, read that, memorized, and that got me through the course. So every morning I'd go in and I'd say, right, I used to go in from 9 to 5. I'd go into the library and say, what did I read today? There's Hemingway. Have a crack at that. And you'd read that for a couple of days. And then next time you go, I'll do that now. I'll go through Dickens for a while. So that's what I advise young people to do. When I came out of there, I had no qualifications whatsoever, but I had a head full of shite, And that's all you need to get on in this world, a head full of rubbish. You're not listening to a word I'm saying.
No, not a dicky bird.
Because you don't understand the dilemma that I was in. You don't understand what it's like with a tortured soul.
Before.
I never told you that. Did I tell you that before? Well, it's a good job. And news is coming up then because they might have heard it before too.
On 92 to 95 FM
and 1341 medium wave.
This is BBC Radio Ulster.
And with the BBC News at 11 o'clock, this is Keith Burnside. Gardaí believe they prevented a £500 car bomb attack in Northern Ireland. Dissident Republicans are thought to have been responsible for a bomb-making operation discovered in County Louth. Kevin Sharkey reports.
The find was made in the village of Hackballs Cross on the border on Saturday afternoon. Officers found homemade explosive material, including fertiliser. The Irish Army carried out a controlled explosion, and police officers say it was a significant find. They're linking it to the dissident Republican group Ugly na Héireann. 2 men in their 50s were arrested at the scene, and this morning they're still being questioned by Gardaí.
Rebel forces in Libya say they've advanced to new positions near the capital Tripoli. There have been reports of fresh airstrikes on the city on the 100th day of international military operations in Libya. Our correspondent Mark Doyle has been on the front line of the rebel positions.
I can hear the dull thud of artillery every now and then, and Colonel Gaddafi's forces are fighting back strongly. I just heard some rockets arriving. So clearly Colonel Gaddafi's forces are trying to stop this rebel advance. The rebels claim that they're moving forward. I can't confirm that. I can say that they're about 30 miles from Tripoli.
The women's clothing chain Jane Norman has gone into administration, a move which threatens up to 1,600 jobs. The firm, which has 4 outlets in Northern Ireland, closed its 90 stores on Saturday. It's the latest in a series of retailers to be hit by a slump in consumer spending. The Chinese Prime Minister Wen Jiabao is at Downing Street for talks with David Cameron. The 2 leaders are expected to sign a deal worth more than £1 billion to British businesses and to reach agreement on enabling British companies to branch out beyond Beijing and Shanghai into China's fast-growing regional cities. Sport now, here's Denise Watson.
Andy Murray is preparing for his 4th round match against Richard Gasquet at Wimbledon. The British number 1 thinks he'll have the edge over the Frenchman thanks to his experience of beating him in their 2 previous Grand Slam meetings. Donegal beat defending champions Tyrone by 2-6 to 9 points at Clonus yesterday to book their place in this year's Ulster Championship decider. They meet Derry. Tyrone now go into the All-Ireland qualifiers to play Longford on the 9th of July. There are full details of the draw on our BBC Sport online website. And US Open champion Rory McIlroy has climbed to a career high of 3rd in the world rankings.
A few showers are possible later, but the weather details, Cecilia Daly.
Many places will have a dry and fairly bright day, although there will be cloudy spells too. Temperatures are down compared to the weekend, with a high of 17 or 18 Celsius. The clouds will thicken to bring a few showery bursts of rain, mainly to western counties, and those showers will largely disappear again this afternoon. Skies will brighten to reveal some sunshine for the evening. Cooler and clearer tonight, with lows of 7 or 8 degrees.
BBC News.
BBC Radio Ulster. Travel news.
Roadworks continue on part of the A29 Cookstown Road between Moneymore and the end of the dual carriageway. That's from 9:30 until 4:30 each day, and this stretch of the A29 could be closed for up to 5 days from Sunday. Meanwhile, in South Belfast, Northern Ireland Water continue work on the Donegal Road, which is now closed heading out of the city from Donegal Avenue to Glenmackin Street. Then tonight, Northway in Portadown will be closed to traffic going towards Armagh from 7 p.m. until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. During this time, traffic will be diverted onto the Seago Road, Bridge Street and Mill Avenue. Anne Jordan reporting.
Travel news on BBC Radio Ulster.
On Talkback with Wendy Austin today, we'll be speaking to the official knocked unconscious at a women's GAA match in Tyrone at the weekend. The ref was knocked out too. We're asking, who'd be a referee? We want your calls on that on 08459 555 678. Should the Hearts footballer Craig Thompson be sacked? He pleaded guilty to sending indecent messages on the internet to 2 young girls. The Scottish club say they're standing by their man. Does he deserve a second chance? Are you posh or common? 70% of us say we're middle class now. So are you? Or are you still a worker bee? And back to school. That's what the ads are saying. The shops are selling the clothes already. They haven't even got off yet. So how annoying is that? Tell me. And join the debate on Talkback at 12.
Wendy wants to know, are you middle class?
No. Worker bee, as you said.
You're certainly not a worker bee. Listen, it has been revealed to me that you have done a trail with Wendy.
I haven't.
The iPlayer. Yes, it was on this morning. You're doing trails with Wendy behind.
Yes, I remember.
I
remember that.
Yeah, doing trails behind my back. That's all
right.
Yeah,
that was weeks and weeks ago.
I know, you didn't tell me.
But I forgot all about it.
That's all right. Same thing. You just didn't tell me. I was delivering.
Does that mean?
I don't know what it means.
Does it mean money?
It means no money. I was delivering in Gerry, Londonderry this morning. I parked my lorry and walked across the new bridge at 6 a.m. Eamon from Belfast. He enjoyed the experience tremendously.
Ruth wants you to play Seasick Steve and give details of his album, please.
I'll try and do that in the fullness of time, yes.
Building in there. What the hell is he building in there? He has subscriptions to those magazines. He never waves when he goes by. He's hiding something from the rest of us. He's all to himself. I think I know why. He took down the tire swing from the pepper tree. He has no children of his own, you see. He has no dog. He has no friends. And his lawn is dying. What about all those packages he sends? What's he building in there? With that hook light on the stairs. What's he building in there? I'll tell you one thing, he's not building a playhouse for the children. What's he building in there? And what's that sound from underneath the door? He's pounding nails into a hardwood floor. And I swear to God I heard someone moaning low. And I keep seeing the blue light of a TV show. He has a router and a table saw. And you won't believe what Mr. Stitches saw. There's poison underneath the sink, of course. There's also enough formaldehyde to choke a horse. What's he building in there? What the hell is he building in there? I heard he has an ex-wife in some place called Mayor's Income, Tennessee. And he used to have a consulting business in Indonesia. But what's he building in there? He has no friends, but he gets a lot of mail. I'll bet he spent a little time in jail. I heard he was up on the roof last night signaling with a flashlight. And what's that tune he's always whistling? What's he building in there? What's he building in there? We have a right to know.
Lay your weary head down, dry your tired eyes. Lay your weary head down and rock-a-bye. She grew up with the children of the stars in the Hollywood Hills and the Boulevard. Her parents threw big parties. Everyone was there. They hung out with folks like Dennis Hopper, Bob Seger, and Sonny and Michelle. Safe now in this bar on Fairfax. And from the stage I can tell that she can't let go and she can't relax. And just before she hangs her head to cry, I sing to her a lullaby. I sing everything's gonna be alright. Rock-a-bye. Rock-a-bye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rock-a-bye. 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 all her friends tell her she's so pretty. But she'd be a whole lot prettier if she smiled once in a while. But you know, even her smile, it looks just like a frown. If she'd seen her share of devils in this angel town, and everything's gonna be alright. Rock-a-bye, rock-a-bye. Everything's gonna be alright. Why don't you rock-a-bye, rock-a-bye, rock-a-bye. Told her, I said, I ain't so sure about this place. It's hard to play a gig in this town and keep a straight face. It seems like everybody's got a plan. It's kind of like Nashville with the tan. Everything's gonna be alright. Rock-a-bye, rock-a-bye. Everything's gonna be alright. Why don't you rock-a-bye, yeah, rock-a-bye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rock-a-bye, rock-a-bye. Why don't you rock 'em by and say bye-bye, bye, bye.
That's Sean Mullins, that's a song called Lullaby. I must apologise for a little extraneous noise there. There seemed to be some kind of going on towards the end. I'm sorry about that. I think that's because that was a copy and there was some kind of whatever it was. I can't explain technical stuff. And before that, of course, was Tom Waits, a song called What's He Building in There?
A lot of complaints about that.
I don't care. It's a great song. It's not a song, really. It's a kind of a madness. That's from an album called Mule Variations. See, I think it's healthy if people complain. It means they know what they don't like. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of things that you don't like, Gentleman says, I agree with you completely. Michael McIntyre is the most unfunny man on television. Also, Ed Byrne, Lee Evans, Tommy Tiernan. Well, Tommy Tiernan was funny before he lost his marbles, wasn't he? And let me just add another one to that. Jason Byrne, he's another one. I like Stuart Lee. Frankie Boyle's good too, except a bit on the racy side. Now, there's two types of comedians, aren't there? They're the ones that play to the kind of, the soap thing, and, people who read about Cheryl Cole. There's that type of guy. And then there's the other guy who are against that. But the most amazing thing is when you really kind of, when you come across somebody and you don't like them, and then you find out later that they're supposed to be funny. Right?
They're supposed to be.
But there was a fella I watched one time, and he's called Marcus Brigstock. He's always on Radio 4. And somebody told me he was a stand-up comedian. I didn't know. I just thought he was just hateful. I didn't realise he was trying to be funny. He was actually trying to be funny. Anyway, he says, hi, Gerry, the man who invented Chinese whispers died. Pass it on. Did you get that? How about playing the Rapparees and Mumford and Sons to waken me up on this dull day? Many thanks. That's Michelle in Belfast. And another Michelle Excuse me. Sorry, did I hear you rumbling?
I was trying not to interrupt you to tell you there's a phone call.
That's okay. Thank you for interrupting me to tell me there's a phone call. I'll go to it later. The other night, another girl called Michelle said, the other night we went to a cabaret night. They're dying, aren't they?
Yeah.
Can I ask you, when was the last time you went to a cabaret night? Remember,
Right.
remember used to come on, and even now.
Cabaret?
Cabaret.
I think the last person I saw in cabaret was Matt Monro.
No, but there are people who still kind of
but Matt Monro
call themselves cabaret performers, and they still wear their big shirts, the big white collars that are over to the end of their shoulders. They still do that. Anyway, the other night we went to a cabaret, and I'd love to know.
But what are you talking about? No,
I don't know. A cabaret night used to be go along, you'd have a meal and a drink and a bar, go up and say hello.
Yeah. But
What about you?
Not so much a meal, but just go in and sit at a table and you have a drink.
No, but you don't eat like a normal person. You can't eat in a restaurant or a cabaret place. You would
I've
never
started eating.
Have you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean eating in public?
I was eating. I ate about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
You must be hungry again now.
Yeah.
You ate 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, about that.
You
yeah.
deliberately went outside
Yeah,
and ate somewhere?
Phoned a restaurant, booked a table.
And paid money and everything?
Everything, yeah.
And did you not get restless after the first
No,
course?
that was the whole thing. No, my legs behaved wonderfully well.
Have you got new legs?
I'm wondering, have I crossed over?
Remember the old legs that you crossed over? Your legs crossed over. Good advice for any girls. The other night, we went to a cabaret night. There were various... No, but you know what a cabaret... People used to go to a cabaret.
Yeah.
A number of acts, say.
Yeah, girls would come on and dance.
It's all
and
died out.
But I would like that. I like that. I would like to see
It's like
that.
variety music hall, with drink.
I went to see... I'll tell you, I went to see as well, too, Vince Hill. I went to see Vince Hill.
Edelweiss.
That's right.
Edelweiss. The other night we went to a cabaret night.
Is he still alive?
I don't know. He just smells funny. There were various singers who stood on the dance floor. At one point, a couple got up and waltzed. Oh, no, this is interesting. After the singer had finished, the MC announced, "Please don't dance when someone is singing." Now, that's a very, very fractious point.
Yeah.
Now, you know, and I know, a certain well-known singer.
Yes.
Who made a tube of himself.
Yes.
By actually telling people to sit down whilst he was
right.
singing. We won't name that man because it's not fair. This man
But
appeared...
it did in front of hundreds of people. Yeah, people should know who it is.
All right then, Red Hurley.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently he stood up in front of people and sang, and they go out to dance and he stopped. What did he do?
It was a big fundraising event.
Yeah,
It was a huge fundraising event. And the person who told us about it said that they would have paid to get up on stage to perform. It was such a big gig. And
prestigious.
And Red Hurley was singing, and he asked the people to stop dancing. The people
whilst they were dancing?
And he says, "I'd appreciate it if you wouldn't dance."
This is while they were dancing.
Yeah.
It's all right if you... I don't think it's too bad if you come out and you say, "Listen, I'm going to sing a few songs now. Listen, maybe you could dance later. Could you hold on till I finish?" That's still a bit arsey. But, it's not too bad because at least you're being nice about it. Yeah. But when the people are actually up grappling with one another and tootling about, then a man says, "Sit down there, you..."
And
that's different.
And he had backing tracks. So he
had no reason to talk then.
Right. So he had so during the next song, the people got up and danced again, and he walked off the stage apparently.
Well, they did that for badness, and he walked off the stage because maybe he felt a little petulant. And this lady says, "I thought dancing was paying a compliment to the singer." Yeah, you see what it is, but the singers don't look at it that way because singers aren't normal. I mean, when I was in bands, there was two people in the bands who weren't human. One was the singer and the other was the drummer. Mm-hmm. See, all the other guys were regarded as being normal. But
if you were a man, I just want to put you.
I am a man.
Yeah, but if you were up on the stage, right? You're a singer.
Yeah.
Right, but if you're elevated, you're up on a stage, and people go, "Surely that is a nice compliment." You say, "Where I'm getting through to these people are listening to me. They want to dance." But if you were standing down the floor and people were dancing all around you, you'd be a bit annoyed, wouldn't you?
This is the whole point, and I think I should have pointed that out later. If you're standing at a level with the people, at a bar or something like that, a pub where there's no stage, and the people get up and dance, that's a bit of an insult because they can't see you. Yeah. But if you're raised, as you say, above, maybe on a stage, it's quite all right because people can still see you and hear you. But one of the things that you don't understand is what goes on in a singer's mind. For any man to go up on stage and sing in front of people, it means that his ego is huge, right? And it means that he loves himself. So singers...
not necessarily so.
Every one of them are the same.
Are they?
I have been in many bands, And the drummers are psychopaths, and the singers are egomaniacs, and all the rest of the guys are usually okay. And everybody, you avoid the singers and the drummers, and everybody else just hangs around together. And the singers and the drummers, the singers spends all their time trying to, ingratiate themselves with people. The drummer just likes hitting things and drinking. Anyway, another singer, in the middle of the song, walked round the edge of the dance floor where people sat and held the microphone up to their mouths. Did you hear that? What? He did likewise to me, and I was just about to impress him with my talent when all of a sudden he leaned over and screamed the words tunelessly into the microphone, pretending it was me singing badly. He must have thought it was hilarious, but he picked the wrong woman. Apparently it's a painful operation to have those things removed. That's the fellow goes around and asks the people in the audience to sing. You've met him, haven't you?
No.
Oh, I've met him.
Well, what does he do?
He just goes around, he goes, give me a song that's horrible. Crackling Rosie, get on board. No, give me one everybody knows the words of.
I left
Sweet Caroline.
Okay.
Good times never.
Oh, over
He's
there.
holding the mic over to you, and you're going,
"This seems so good."
So there's Sweet Caroline, bum bum bum. Good times never been so good.
You see,
and then they go. That made me cough.
No, I like the story that you pointed out to me about the singer on stage.
Yes.
I never realised. I always thought. No, when we were in the dances, I'm talking about. Let's talk show bands here.
Go ahead.
And you're up giving a. It's when the lead singer is up singing away and pointing down the hall.
Yeah, there's nobody there.
I always thought they were. I fell for it.
That's called winking at the wall as well.
Yeah.
See what happens is, let me explain that. There's a day gone by.
Is there a man on the phone waiting for you?
It's okay. But these are days gone by. But these are show business principles that apply. See, show business principles never change because show business people always know what works and they always know what doesn't work. And human nature never changes. See, you imagine, right? Let's say you're a star, okay?
Right.
Not a big star, but quite well known. If you were in a show band, you see, people would stand in front of the stage and look at you when you came on first. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I want to be Rolly Daniels, right? I'm Rolly.
You're Rolly Daniels, and you're playing in.
I want to be in shorts.
Ballymena.
No, I want to go in shorts in Belfast.
Where's your shorts?
No, in shorts. Club.
In shorts. In Shorts Club.
Aye.
All right. Okay. No, but you see, that's
all right. Then,
okay. Right. No.
I'll go somewhere else. I'll go somewhere else. I can go to the riverside.
Stay in shorts. Stay in shorts.
Okay, right.
Rolly Daniel comes on the stage. Right. People who are sitting in shorts are men with their wives.
Right.
Right. And sometimes their wives are jars, kind of thing.
Right.
And men going out with their wives sometimes not getting on too well with them. You don't know. You don't know what's going on. So the last thing he wants is a man to come out. A big shiny man. A big clean man. Not like me. A man who'd be good looking, a man who's singing. The first thing he does is winks down at his wife.
Right.
And he's going, who the book does he think he is? That's what you get, you see. So when a man comes out to sing in front of an audience, first of all, he starts to wink and say hello to people. But he's not saying hello to people because he doesn't know any of them, and he doesn't know who to say hello to because they may not be friendly. So he winks at the wall and he says hello to the wall. Hello, hi. And points at the wall. Doesn't point at anybody, because if he points at anybody, particularly, he might be pointing at the wrong guy. Maybe a paramilitary or something.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
He's along with his wife and her skirts fell down a wee bit.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. You know, and he's going, oh, yeah. Right. Anyway, what do we start
There's
talking
a man
about?
on one.
I'm not finished yet.
Right.
Hold on, but I can't remember what I was talking about even. But all I do remember is that I wasn't finished. No, you see, lead singers.
Lead singers. Lead
What's
singers.
that we were talking about?
I think I started off with drummers and lead singers.
Yeah.
But how did we arrive there?
I don't know. We get lost. We get lost. We started talking about comedians.
About a man's ego.
A man's ego, yeah. See, comedians have the same ego.
Right.
See, what's wrong with comedians is I've met a lot of comedians, stand-up comedians. There's always something wrong with them.
Comedians want to tell you how well they're booked. You know, look at that there.
No, but see,
I'm on for the next 6 weeks.
Any normal person, the last thing he wants to do is go up in front of on a stage, and tell people jokes and see if they laugh or not, because it's a very, very, very precarious thing to do. Now, the reason why stand-up comedians are stand-up comedians, because do you know the way you and I just need one person to love us?
All right.
That does us rightly.
All right. They
need everybody to love them. Comedians need everybody to love them. That's why they go on stage. They need the laughter. You and I don't need the laughter. We can be bothered with that. if somebody says to you, listen, I know you're supposed to be doing half an hour on the stage tonight, and I know I'm supposed to pay you 200 quid, but here, don't you bother, look, there's the money. And you say, great. Mm-hmm. The comedian would be disappointed because he's not going on stage. He needs the applause. You know, your Paddy Keeltys and all those guys. They need people to laugh at them or else they're miserable. See, and we're not like that. Anyway, that's another point. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Is that you, Gerry?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry for keeping you waiting.
My name's Frank.
Yes, Frank.
Gerry, do you remember 2 weeks ago I asked you to help me as I lost my walking cane?
Yes, I do remember that.
Well, after that, I put my phone down. I got a call from 3 different people who come to my aid. So I did. I'm ringing you up and hoping that them people are listening and want to thank them all for helping me. There was a lady of Agnes Street and a gentleman from called Harry.
Yes.
He come and a lady come, and each one of them, they all supplied me what I needed.
You see? Well, I knew that there was one person who was willing to give you one, but I didn't realise there was 3, because what happens is when you and I talk, you see, maybe somebody rings right away, and then somebody, what I loosely call the staff here, they tell me that, you know, the gentleman's been sorted out. But then other people might ring and I don't hear that. Isn't that right? Isn't that the way it works?
Yes,
with you people in there?
Yes.
Who are loosely called the staff?
Us people in
I mean, if a man is... I'm sorry to call you people in there, but
yeah.
that's what you are. You're you people in there.
Yeah, but people don't realise that we're in different rooms.
We are in different rooms.
At home, listen to them.
I don't let them be in the same room as me. See,
I thought the 2 years were sitting beside one another.
No, God forbid. No, but let me describe this scene. I am wearing a pair of a miniskirt. No, there's there's a wall in front of me. There's a clock up there. There's a clock up there, and there's a red light that tells you to stop talking. And then there's a big square of glass, and I can dimly see through it those people in there. That's what we see. I don't see them really. I can dimly see them. Sometimes they put the lights on and I'd make them turn them off. Because Emma looking at me, I can see her wee face. Look, you're nice. Emma looks at me around the curtain sometimes. She likes me. Anyway, sorry. That's what happens. Sometimes, you know, if somebody like yourself rings up with a problem and maybe, you know, somebody rings up with a solution, those people in there would say to me, oh, listen, that man sorted out now.
Yeah.
But, you know, I have no idea if maybe 10 people might ring.
Well, I want to ring back.
Excellent.
To thank all those people that have come to my help.
Thank you for doing that.
I hope that they're all listening. But the one person that didn't come to my aid, probably my mum was sick, is sitting in her home.
Sorry, what was that? I missed that. What did you say? Sorry.
Because I suffer with acute arthritis.
Yes.
I'm waiting to go into hospital for an operation.
Uh-huh.
I'm maybe 2 years of age.
Yeah.
But these people, honestly, they showed you a real Christian charity by coming and giving me some help.
They came to your home?
They did.
Well, I mean, what more can you ask? I mean, that's just nice people, isn't it?
Gerry, do you know what I wanted to ask you?
Yes.
Do you remember you used to tell us a story about the little green hut you had? We used to laugh my dag off at that.
I might give that an air and again. Haven't talked about my hut for a long time. We have, some of our listeners may have died, and new ones may have taken their place, so they may need to know about the hut. All right, I'll think over that, and maybe resurrect the hut.
Right, I really enjoyed that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Gerry.
Not at all.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
And thank you to all those people that helped me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can I just say something to you, Sean? I don't normally say anything like this, but I want to ask you something. Do you realise that the last 2 words, the last 2 letters of Jesus spells us?
That's nice. Trevor's on too.
Look, you ruined that.
Well, I couldn't help it.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks.
Gerry, I'm looking a favour off you.
Yes.
My father-in-law, he's coming up to 85 years of age.
Right, okay.
And he had a baseball cap. Now, it's no ordinary baseball cap.
Right.
He had badges on it that he's had from all over Europe. He's collected them in America, everywhere, Canada, all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
And he treasured it. A couple of last week sometime, he lost it somewhere between Carrickfergus and the Royal Victoria Hospital.
All right, then. Was he in a taxi or a car, or was he walking?
But I know he was going up the Royal Victoria Hospital in Belfast, and he lost it somewhere in between that.
All right, then. Okay, so it's a baseball cap with a lot of badges on it.
Badges, yes. There's badges from the Somme, and there's badges from Canada, Germany, everywhere. But he really treasured it, and I'm just hoping somebody's found it.
By the way you say Canada, I think you've lived somewhere else for quite a long time.
No, I've lived in Carrickfergus all my life.
And you say Canada.
I picked up on that too as well.
Did
the
you?
way he said, yeah, exactly. It was the one word. Yeah, I said this man's lived in Canada.
Yeah, because people who live in Canada say Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Everybody's going to give me a hard time when they come on the phone.
No, see, people.
No, I'm Carrickfergus.
No, people would say Canada. You see, but if you people who live in Canada say Canada, and you say Canada. That's okay. It's not a complaint, or it's not a criticism of any kind. It's just a question. All right then. So your father's baseball camp.
A guy called David Manderson. He lives in Carrickfergus, and he just loves that hat.
Did he ever write to me?
No, not that I know of. No.
Who was the fellow who used to write to me? His name is Manderson. That's another fella.
Too,
no, it's not actually. No, another gentleman called Madison used to write to me. I mean, sorry. Of course, maybe he made the name up because my middle name is M, so I'm actually Gerry Manderson.
Oh, of course, right now, but I never thought of it.
All right then. Okay, we'll keep an eye out for your father's baseball cap.
Would you please? And if anybody, I think you have my number there. They can contact me on that number that you have.
We have your number. It's the number to ring if you know anything about that is 08459 555 678. Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it, Gerry. Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
That's the Average White Band to pick up the pieces. That's quite good. I haven't heard that for a long, long time. You can't imagine them on X Factor somehow. Look at this here. Look, your wishes come true. People want to hear more Tom Waits songs. What about a few more songs from the album, Mule Variations? Years ago, you used to play Driver by Leo Kottke, another great wee tune. Maybe you could reprise that sometime. That's from Justin. So, well, on the grounds that the people are complaining about Tom Waits, I have no choice but to play some more. People complain about Ricky Gervais. Do you think Ricky Gervais is funny?
But you see, well...
Jack D. Complain about Jack D.
I like Jack D in that sitcom thing.
That balloon.
I like that sort of thing. I like,
It's subjective,
Yeah, I like
It's subjective. Sean, ask Gerry, the man wants me to ask you something.
Right.
Why are people sending me... No, this is a very unusual thing. People are sending me emails and they assume that you will see them. That's what it is.
Oh, right.
So let me say that because this might stop people telling me things because they think you'll see them.
All right. All right.
So let me just say this. Anyone who sends me an email, I'm the only one who sees them, okay? So you can send me a private one if you like, but anything that you say to me, no other eyes will see them. Gerry, does he know? Ask Gerry, does he know that the oldest man in the world is still alive? Well, if he wasn't, he wouldn't be the oldest man in the world, would he?
No.
Is that a wee catch? The wee cute thing trying to catch me? Is it? Is that what that is? Is that what that is?
Did you ever ask anyone for an autograph?
Yes.
Who?
Once.
Who?
I regretted it bitterly.
Who?
Jimmy Savile.
He did not.
I did.
Did you?
Yes, in a club in Manchester in 1963. I was 11 at the time.
Yeah.
I got it for my sister. And I said to him, it's for my sister.
And he didn't believe
it. He was very nice. He was smoking a cigar, of course.
Uh-huh.
He was very nice. He signed it, yeah. He was doing a kind of a disco thing in Manchester. I lived there when I was a young lad. That's the only time I've ever asked for an autograph. And I regret, I knew it was wrong. I knew it was the wrong thing to do. And I felt dirty afterwards. You know, I felt dirty. I don't know why I felt dirty. I just knew instinctively that it was a bad idea.
Brendan Boyer was the last person I got.
The last? You mean there were more?
No.
Who was the first?
Actually, I don't know, but I remember Brendan Boyer's the only one. And do you remember I told you I won an LP at the Harp Ballroom in Birmingham? There was a raffle during the interval, and the prize was an LP of the Royal Show Band, and I won it. So I was called up to the stage to be presented with this album by Brendan Boyer, and I asked him to sign it.
Was he there?
Aye. It was the Royal Show Band were playing it.
So in other words, you were a punter, right?
I
you won one of their albums. You had to go up on stage to get it, and asked him. You asked him for that.
I asked him. Well, he said, I think he wanted
did he
to
say,
sign.
"Do you want me to sign it for you?"
Aye, I think so.
You should have said no.
No, I said yes.
Oh, you should have said no. No, I don't want you to sign it. It'll ruin it. I would have said no. I would have, I would have said no. Do you want me to sign it there? No, thanks.
Well, do you know who the Undertone asked for?
Him in there?
He asked for an autograph.
Did he? Let me guess.
Let me
guess.
Go on then.
Joe Strummer.
No. A man we mentioned earlier in the programme.
Really?
Yes.
Matt Monroe?
No, the other boy.
The other one?
Aye.
I can't think now. I don't know who we talk about.
Vince Hill.
He did not.
He did. He's got Vince Hill's autograph.
You mean an Undertone asked for Vince Hill for his autograph? My God, where did it all go wrong?
What about the call-in-one?
What call-in-one?
Michelle.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realise it was there. Hello, good morning, Michelle.
Good morning, Gerry.
Sorry for keeping you so long.
No, you're okay. This is funny. Guess who my first autograph ever was?
Who?
Julian Simmons. And he was like the colour of baked beans.
He may have been applying some after tan thing.
Yes.
And was he nice to you? That's the most important thing.
No, he was very not nice. Very arrogant wee man.
Oh, brilliant. No, but you see,
yeah, I hope he's not listening. He might take grave offence.
No, he'll be listening to Frank Mitchell.
Oh, of course.
Oh, they all stick together. They all stick together. They all stick together.
Well, I don't think I still have it, so it's a moot point anyway.
Do you know
Gerry, I wanted to tell you about my daddy. I called you on Friday.
Yeah.
It was daddy's birthday, and I was so excited because it was gonna he would have been listening, but you were out, for goodness sake.
Yes.
Your live broadcast.
Yes, we're doing the open house festival thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
yeah.
But it was Paddy Owens from Oma, and it was his 70th birthday.
So Paddy tries to live with Paddy.
I know.
For God's sake. Let me just qualify that.
Yes, I should think so.
Yes.
I was Paddy's lodger.
Yes.
Him and his wife at the time, I'm not quite sure if she's with him or not.
On the Derry Road. Road, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed. And he had a lovely little apartment there in a spare bedroom, and he used to put me up. And he's 70, for God's sake, and I was always 20 years younger than him.
Of course, yes.
And do you see him?
Yes, of course, aye.
Oh, you tell him I said hello.
Aye, well, I hope he's listening, but I'm in Belfast, but I hope he's listening.
He was very nice. He was very nice. I liked him a lot.
Oh, he's very
I really liked him, and I really liked him. He was very laid back. I'm not quite sure.
you-
I'm not quite sure why.
Nothing would rile him up. At that point, it was probably all the vodka.
There was something keeping him very calm, anyway.
Yes.
No, but he was.
There's
No,
no
he was.
vodka
He
on
was,
the go now.
he was a really nice guy and a fine guitar player.
Yes, yes.
A fine guitar player. He used to play with Frankie McBride's band the time I was with
Yes,
Frankie McBride.
Frankie McBride is at his party there on Friday. So
Like he was not, was he?
He was.
Yeah, the two of them were very friendly. They liked each other.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
They had a good night.
Good to hear that all these people are still alive.
Yeah.
And you're
well, I'm the next generation, Gerry, so I have to
All
keep
right,
the music
then.
going.
Okay. All right, then. Well, nice to hear from you.
I wanted you to give him a belated birthday wish. On
Oh,
the air.
yes. Oh, I wonder. I don't know what to play for him now.
Well, pick something old.
Yeah. No. I'll tell you what I'll do. I've got one in at the moment, which is quite good. Hear me saying things. I've got one in at the moment. On a DJ talk. This is Rory Faithfield. I love this very much indeed. It's called Big Blue Western Skies. So I'll play that for him. It's Big Blue Western Skies, like the ones that are over Oma.
Yes, very good.
Oh, this is not it though. Hold on a second.
Thanks, bye.
Bye. That's not the one I want. Hold on a second. For God's sake.
Whose fault's that?
Listen to that. What is this now? Is this the same thing?
Well, there's a call on too if you're.
If I'm in trouble?
Yeah, if you need it.
I don't know what this is. I think it might be this. This might be it. I have no idea what this is. Hold on a second to have a look.
Well, when you talk to...
Oh, leave me alone.
There's a wee call on too.
I know there's a wee call on too.
But then you can sort yourself out when you're talking.
Everything's going wrong. Hold on a second. That's it now. There it is. And there's someone on two, you say?
Yes.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
How are you? Sorry for keeping you. Sorry for the confusion.
You're quite okay.
All right, then.
I simply asked for a rendition of, not a rendition, but the rendition of Luke Kelly's Raglan Road.
Ah, Raglan Road, yeah.
Raglan Road.
Patrick
On an
Campbell.
autumn day, I met her first and knew.
What did I say?
For dark hair would weave a snare that I would one day rue. And I lived and loved a person in Raglan Road.
You did?
I did indeed, yeah.
I said Patrick Campbell there, but of course I meant Patrick Kavanagh.
It broke my heart.
Are you serious?
I'm not serious.
Tell me about that. Well, when was this? And was it around about that time that Patrick Kavanagh wrote was it?
This was about, 25 years ago.
That's later
I'm
than
74 now.
Yes.
I'm 74 now.
Uh-huh.
And I love that girl, Eileen.
And I bet she lived in a flat.
How did you know?
Because I know all those places.
Oh, very good. Very good. Yes, that's right. That's right.
There was a time in Raglan Road and all those places, Rathmines, Ranelagh. They were all big. They were Georgian houses, I think they were.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And they were all converted into apartments.
It's correct.
And all the nurses and people like me used to live in them.
That is right. Yeah.
But
That is right.
Them and the Celtic Tiger came.
Yeah.
They threw them all out.
Every time I hear Raglan Road, I think of Eileen.
Okay, let me try and guess. Was she a nurse?
Sorry?
Was she a nurse?
No, she worked in the civil service.
Same thing. You see, I'm getting close here. And I don't want to ask you too much about it, but where was she from, roughly? Was she from the north or the south?
Oh, she was in the north of the city.
Mm-mm. Oh, she was in Dublin?
Oh, she was from Dublin, yeah.
But she
was.
But she wasn't living in her own house, was
Not
she?
at all. No way. No. Just I just happened to meet her, you know. And,
She must have been one of the wilder ones.
Well, we fell in love, you know. And that was it. And Eileen died.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't hear that.
Eileen died.
I mean, sorry, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I've been a wee bit flippant about that. I didn't realise that. And what age was she?
She died from meningitis.
And what age was she?
Yeah, she didn't die.
What age was she when she passed away? What age was she when she died?
She was 33.
Oh, for God's sake. Well, were you with her right up until the
Not
end?
at all. No, the last I heard of her was when she was being buried. And I went down and she was buried in Glasnevin.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
And was she the love of your life, do you think?
She was the love of my life.
Oh, dear.
The love of my life. She wasn't. I never loved anybody since.
And why did you break up? Did you fight about something silly, probably?
Oh, I had broken up, 35 years ago, you know. I lived on my own all those years, you know.
Oh,
and
dear,
I
dear.
just happened to get to know Eileen. And we loved each other. And I loved her. And, you know, it's such a sad, sad story. Such a sad, sad story.
It is. And
It
did
really
you meet anyone since, or are you still
No.
on your own?
No.
I suppose you weren't looking.
I couldn't care less anymore now, you know.
All right, then. And,
Not at all, no.
I wonder, Sean, do we have that? Do we have Luke Kelly playing Raglan Road?
We wouldn't get it this morning.
I
Well,
don't
tomorrow
know.
we play it tomorrow morning for you. Definitely.
Yeah, well, you remember, Sean?
Yes,
because-
yes.
Sorry?
We'll definitely play it tomorrow morning.
We'll play it for you tomorrow morning because we wouldn't have time to go up and find it now. So,
okay.
So if you can listen tomorrow morning, I'll certainly play it for you.
uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
All the best.
Bye.
And what's your name?
Gerry Anderson.
Gerry, okay. Oh, that's Gerry himself.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, Gerry.
How you doing?
Bye-bye.
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 She squinted into the light. Those western rays were far too bright, burning on her skin. Rubbed the sleep out of her eyes and turned her back on darker skies. Said it's time to let it in. I can see you. Better under big blue western skies. Walk the path with sunburned feet, drawn by a distant beat to the solitary shore of glistening sands, broken shells, 100,000 fare thee wells, and something new she could not ignore. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. She squinted into the light. The western rays were far too bright on that solitary shore of glistening sands, broken shells, 100,000 fare thee wells, and something new she could not ignore. Something new she could not ignore. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. I can see you, so much better under big blue western skies. Under big blue
That's Rory Faithfield. That's a song called Big Blue Western Skies from his album, which is called Songs for Sooner. That's Rory Faithfield. He's been into the studio with us here, and hopefully he'll be in again very soon. A great singer, Australian. There's a website, www.faithfield.com, Faithfield. Well, that says on the tin. Is there someone on the line here?
Yes, Paddy.
Paddy?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, morning,
Gerry,
Paddy.
Good morning.
Morning, Paddy. How are
Gerry.
you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm just reading the Irish Times and the report on your new bridge, and I'm surprised to note that while it tells us that it was built by Grahams of Dromore, it does not tell us who designed it.
I think I should know that. Do you know who designed it, Sean?
Wilkinson Air Architects.
Wilkinson, as in Wilkinson's from Air?
I don't know. No, I think it's Wilkinson. I think it's just
EYR?
EYRE.
EYRE? Ear? That's Ear Square. I don't know.
Wilkinson Air Architects,
really?
Yeah.
I don't know off the top of my head. I have to say.
Who it was.
Ask what do you call these people in Emma?
But so look, listen,
ask Emma to Google it.
What part of that's who it was do you not understand? That's who it was.
Oh, excuse me.
Yes,
oh, turning on.
Turning on. I've heard of them. I'm of the same profession.
Are you?
And that's why I was interested in knowing who designed it.
Yeah, they did the Gateshead Millennium Bridge as well.
Right.
You
So
seem to
I'm
be
looking
well
forward
versed
to
in.
going to Gerry someday for my lunch and walking the bridge.
I'm looking forward to going across it today, actually, because I haven't been around this weekend. It only opened on Saturday, so I've never seen it open. So I'm gonna pop down there and go across there today, as fast as my little feet will take me.
I'll have a nice walk from the station across the bridge and over to some suitable hostelry for lunch.
Indeed.
And maybe wander up to Foyle Bookshop, say hello to my brother Art.
Indeed. Art, who is that?
Art Byrne, who runs the Foyle Bookshop.
Of course.
In the village.
Indeed. So there we are. That's a good day planned for you whenever you manage to do that.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's a wonderful thing, actually, because it's a wonderful bridge. I'm looking at the span of it. No, it's a wonderful thing because people don't realise, I talked about this before, but people don't realise how foreboding and how much of an obstacle that river was to many people. I mean, I mentioned the fact that even though I'd lived beside it all my life, I'd never been on it. You know what I mean? Up until I was about 25 or 26 or something like that, and then I...
Well, it certainly makes the city much more accessible now from the train station side.
It used to be a tale of two cities, really, but now it's a tale of one. Okay, thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Come up soon. And actually, we encourage anyone else to come up and just spend a day. And it's just a wonderful thing. They should come up and see it. It's very symbolic of a new Northern Ireland, I think. And Derry's a strange place because everything seems to finish and start and finish here. I mean, the Troubles started here, although nobody knew what they were at the start. And if it hadn't been for this city, there would be no Prince Charles, there would be no Pippa, there would be no William, there would be no Prince Harry because of the siege of Derry. Everything seems to start here. And the Troubles ended here, but nobody knew they were ended. It just said, everything's quiet. So the Troubles ended here. So maybe the Troubles proper end with this bridge. And maybe the sectarian element of our society will end here because this is a physical manifestation of what is wrong with us because we don't communicate with the people of opposite religion. So maybe perhaps this is a visible thing that, make people think about that, which is what it's about. As I said to Mo Durkin the other day, it's the first bridge that was ever built that was not primarily designed to get from A to B. That's not what it's for. It's a bridge, it's about minds. Okay, you're looking forward to seeing it.
I look forward to getting there, Gerry.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye. Bye.
She went into the world from when she came into the world.
Oh, I didn't mean to play that. I'm very bad today.
You are very bad today. Could you say hello to Charlie Tate in Newton Ards? He's celebrating his 61st birthday today.
Charlie Tate is 61 years old today, and we wish him all the best and all the good luck for the future.
From his children and grandchildren.
From his children and grandchildren.
A million miles our vagabond wheels clocked up beneath the clouds. They're counting down to showtime when we do it for real with the crowds. Air miles are owing, but they don't come for free, and they don't give you any for paying. But if it's all for nothing, all the road running has been in vain.
The lady writes to me and says, Wendy,
All
what?
right now, thank you, Vince.
The lady writes to me and she says, Wendy Austin asked, are you middle class or common? I never really knew what class meant until my daughter and son went to an open recruitment day in a restaurant recently. They had to file in an application form, and they overheard a girl ask, how do you spell polite?
This is my piper, this is my drum, so you never will hear me complain. And if it's all for nothing, all the road running has been in vain. All the road running.
This is All the Road Running from Mark Knopfler and Emmylou Harris from an album called, you guessed it, All the Road Running. Back tomorrow.
To go up on the wall, it can only be fast and high. And those who don't like the danger soon find something different to try. And when there is only a ring in your ears and an echo down memory lane, then if it's all for nothing, all the road running has been in vain. All the road running, all the road running, all the road running, all the road running.
The show's packing up, I sit and watch the car leaving town. And there's no pretending I'm not a fool for riding around and around. Like the pictures you keep of your old wall of death you showed me one time on a plane. But if it's all for nothing, all the road around has been in vain.
Of a million miles of vagabond sky clocked up above the clouds, and I'm still your man for the roaming, for as long as there's roaming allowed.
There'll be a rider and there'll be a wall as long as the dreamer remains. And if it's all for nothing, all the road running has been in vain. All the road running, all the road running.
Oh, I like that, Gerry. Thanks very much. It's 12 o'clock. This is Talk Back with Wendy Austin.